Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Time for our tropical update here on YouTube, Thursday night. And we're going to talk a lot about this Invest 98 and show you what the latest models were from today and kind of see where we're at with this thing. As always, I am just a weather blogger. I'm nothing official. Mike's weather page. Been around streaming social media stuff on Facebook since 2009. And sharing models is what I do. The website's Spaghetti Models. So I'm getting a little heat out there today for sharing models and all, saying I'm trying to use scare tactics and just trying to get likes. But I've always done this, and my true fans know that. So there's nothing different what I'm doing today than what I haven't done for the last 10 plus years, okay? Just trying to put the information out there. And we're dealing with a system that could potentially be reaching Florida as soon as Monday night. I mean, that's only, 4 days from now. So I want to get this information out. I'm hoping it's wrong. Hope we don't have anything. So what we're talking about is this. This is Invest 98. 90% chance. We do have a lot of chit-chat that it's... I'm wasting everybody's time for sharing it because there's no circulation yet, but there kind of is. I disagree with that a little bit. There is a generalization of a spot right now that's trying to consolidate. Let me show it to you real quick. This is the NOAA surface charts, and you can see we have an L, and it even says possible tropical cyclone on that. On our Knoll School site that we use for the 850 millibar, you could see rotation. It's got low level. There was a satellite scan earlier too that picked up decent rotation. It's broad. It's a little elongated, yes, but it's a good spot for the models to at least initialize. Even the 700 is starting to line up a little bit, and it's starting to get a little 500 trying to get going. So it's not perfectly, it's not there yet, but it's getting there. Here's satellite imagery on weathernerds.org, and you can actually see it rotation right here. This general area right here is definitely showing up lower level circulation. So we kind of do have a center. Not the best, but we kind of do. All right, here's the latest spaghetti models. I love spaghetti models. That's why I got the domain Spaghetti Models. I love tropical tidbits. We use Levi's site a lot, and he's got great models. These are the most recent. These are 18Z models. And here you go. The consensus lines are usually your gray TVCN lines, and you can see now that they are starting to kind of get that turn into the Florida Peninsula. The GFS has been the extreme outlier all along. Some of these models are based off of that, so we're kind of getting, that weird west bias that I don't know is really going to happen. But for what it's worth, here you go. I mean, and we're starting to see a curve on the end of these, so obviously, Eastern Gulf has been our number one theme from day one. 3 or 4 days ago, we started talking about this. Eastern Gulf has been the theme in Florida, and we're still seeing that. So the consistency has been really good with this possibility. Some other models here. This one includes the Euro. That's the orange line. This one right here, the orange line, is the Euro. And you can see how it's down there by South Florida. And pretty much all of them are, including Florida somewhat. So, even though we're going to see a system appear to be going northwest, it's expected to react to a cold front. There's a cold front coming right here that it's been the year of the cold fronts, right? So we have a cold front line on Tuesday. Pretty strong indicator of a cold front. Dry air pushing down. Cold fronts in October. This is an October style storm. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We get storms down in October, come up from the Caribbean. They react to these fronts, and they usually accelerate, and they usually curve northeast. And that's exactly what we're seeing, at least with the models right now. Starting to see the low pressure show up even on the surface chart. This is next Wednesday, official surface chart. All right, so I put this little piece of graphic together. This was Tropical Tidbits runs on his site. They're the latest Canadian icon in the Euro. What I found really interesting, worth pointing out, is all three of these are Tuesday morning snapshots. So you really don't ever get this much consistency like 4 or 5 days out, but we do. I mean, whether it'll verify or not. But it's just keeping that theme going of Eastern Gulf, Florida. But this is, and all of these are kind of showing a northeast motion through the state, if this were to verify. Latest European ensembles just came out. These are your 12Zs. These are from weathernerds.org. They blend all the European ensembles together. And what we saw the last couple of days is this black mean line has been more hovering around Tampa. So it made a pretty good little shift south this afternoon, as did the operational run. And you can see most of the European ensembles are now getting even tighter. We're not seeing that spread that we saw. Remember we talked about Fiona having two schools, two camps of thinking, weaker west and stronger north. Well, Euro started out doing the same thing with this. We talked a lot about that a few days ago. Now the models are kind of getting tighter, and so Europeans getting a little more confident on this pole northward and eventual turn. Could see some effects on the East Coast, depending on how close it exits, if this verifies. But there you go. Here's the latest GFS. We noted earlier that it was showing a runway over here earlier today, and it was like even more extreme than its outliers. But latest brought it in some more. So we're seeing if the GFS is now catching back up to everybody else. But there you go. These are the latest GFS ensembles. Notice a lot of them are pointing towards Florida too, all reacting to that cold front now. The latest GFS here. Let's show you that one. This is the most extreme outlier. The GFS. This is on Tropical Tidbits, by the way. It was going into the Yucatan. The latest 12Z now splitting the gap and pulls it kind of into the panhandle. This is the farthest west model. It's the outlier, but it does sit over the Gulf longer, which makes sense. More time to intensify, and it would be looking at a landfall maybe Friday night. If that's a big if, but just so you know, if it came true, it'd be later next week. If it came true, but it's the outlier. The latest Euro is showing you this, a developing system. Let's go rewind now. We're going to go to our friends down in Jamaica and the Caymans. So all along, our system is expected to try to maybe start organizing somewhere around Jamaica over the weekend. This could be Saturday into Sunday. Possibly could be organized by then. It does try to get organized over the Cayman Islands. Could be potentially a hurricane over the Cayman Islands into Monday. So Sunday, Monday, the Caymans are watching. And then there's our system, heading towards Florida. A little lower track this time. The Euro's been on west central Florida almost the last 7 or 8 runs in a row. But there you go. Cuts across the state. And, this would be Wednesday. So we could see winds almost Monday night, possibly, starting to reach the Keys. But this is the Euro on Tuesday morning, going into Tuesday afternoon and then exiting the state by Wednesday. So again, fast mover through the state, maybe some East Coast effects, but that's so classic right there. Latest Icon, kind of showing you the same thing. Icon, not the best model as far as track goes, but it's worth pointing out that it's kind of doing the same thing. Development by Jamaica, trying to load. This is Sunday. And then the Caymans, let's get it to load here. Poor Levi said his site is so slow. I think the whole world's on here tracking models. There we go. So here's your Icon. Same thing. Possibly development near the Caymans into Monday. Sunday, Monday again. There's your track towards South Florida on Tuesday morning. And basic cut across the state. The same thing. So it's not loading really good, but same thing. CMC model, Icon, and Euro are all kind of showing that scene cutting across the state. So, if that were to verify, a couple things real quick to point out here before we go. Let's just pull it on the zoom map. I'll just do it on this one here. If we were to get a large system here, let's say, there's always that potential that we're going to see storms and surge on the East Coast that people might not be expecting. So that's something to think about as our storm cuts, possibly something like that, let's say. So just because it's West Coast, possible landfall, let's say that verifies. The East Coast could definitely still see squall lines, could still see surge. Definitely something to think about. And also, a faster moving system through the state likely is going to keep hurricane conditions all the way through the state. It's not going to be just a West Coast landfall. We're going to actually see hurricane conditions all the way through, if that indeed is the path. So those are two things that caught people off guard our last few storms pretty much everywhere as far as the inland effects. Michael unfortunately had Category 3 winds way up in Alabama and Georgia. A lot of emphasis is always on the coast. They forget that these things don't slow down. Ida took forever to weaken. So any strengthening system, and we got this weird phenomenon of the brown water effect over the Everglades that we see up here too in the marshes. That water is so hot down in the key Everglades, it almost acts as the ocean does, and very few storms weaken a lot over South Florida is what I'm getting at. So it's just we got to worry about both sides of the state if this were to verify. These are just things that could happen. I just want people to be aware. The trends that we're seeing is a little more east again. In a developing, strengthening system could possibly bring hurricane conditions through the state. And then, of course, we're going to see on the exit, the East Coast would be watching if it were to hug a little closer along that Gulf Stream. But that, to me, seems like the most likely scenario. That's the one we've talked about for 3 days. We'll see what the official forecast says here soon. When we get a PTC or a possibly tropical depression or storm, we'll get a 5-day cone soon enough. This thing is inching closer. I filled up gas today and had Julie bring home water. Just saying. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll do another one of these lives, a live broadcast tomorrow at 9:19 Eastern here on YouTube, and then we'll do another quickie in the morning tomorrow, and another quickie tomorrow night. So there you go. Have a great evening. Bye bye.